welcome music fans, friends, and fiends. My name is Tommy Twilight. I am the beat poet laureate of Massachusetts. Tonight, we have a special doubleheader of two amazing acts. Now's the time, and do it now. And I've known both Michael and Paul for many years. And they are crazy. They are outrageous in their own way because they believe the same thing that I do, that poetry can change the world. And even if it doesn't, poetry can be quite an entertaining and inspiring thing, especially when it's paired with great music, which is what we have tonight, just for you. So please join me in welcoming our first band for the evening, from parts unknown, Michael Favala Goldman and the Now's the Time Jazz Ensemble. Michael Goldman, clarinet and bass clarinet. Jay Markham, trumpet. James Steinberg, alto sax. Bill Winslow, piano. And Chris Coe, drums. Now's the time to meet.
Thank you, Tommy. That was awesome. Very good evening to all, and welcome to this really unique event of music and spoken word. I'm Michael Favala Goldman, and the poetry that is in the first half of this show is all written by me. Many of them are in the books out in the lobby. And and there's also the coming out party for two new collections, What Minimal Joy, and someday all of this will be yours. Tommy already introduced the band, but I will just mention, before we get into the first part of music, I have a short introductory poem for you, which speaks to at least one of the reasons why we're all here tonight. Music. Time is silent. Space is also silent. Who are we to enter? What silence do we have to add? What sound do we have to add that is worthy of silence? And then this first spoken word piece is in memory of one of the great jazz composers who died earlier this year. And I'll be accompanied by Bill on the grand piano for this. One by one, at 121 Club. It was Wayne Shorter's birthday, which was so great, since we were going to perform one of his compositions at the jazz club. Made it all kind of fortuitous to tell the audience we were playing for him. The groovy intro, the quiet melody, and the shouting notes that maybe he could sense somehow, and our improvisations on his tune. Each of us having 1 minute for his life to step specter-like into ours. And us shouting from his mountaintop that this is what it feels like to have been Wayne Shorter as a young man. And even though he's 83, he still feels it. And his music still plays it that way. And there's no regret or sadness when it's played like that. Just the sounds flooding the walls and reflecting off the bright, upturned faces. After the applause, I thank the audience, defer again to Shorter's birthday. And it doesn't matter that by accident, that time I say Frank Shorter, you know, the Olympic marathoner? Because when I was young, my family was really into long-distance running. And our saxophonist corrects me.
Wayne Shorter. It's Wayne Shorter.
Right. Wayne Shorter. So please enjoy our version of Wayne Shorter's One by One. very much. You may have noticed, if you live in the area, several new houses being built on Burt's Pit Road, not far from the newly paved bike path there. And this next piece comes out of that project. I'll be accompanied by James on this piece. The reprieve. When the damp strips of cast-off bark lie slack, like leather tongues on the old boundary stone wall, and the rabbit tracks leave an icy staccato in the snow, I tire of myself, sitting hours at my desk, and let myself be drawn by the cold, hazy sun out into the pathless woods, where stout trees stand half-dressed, draped in damp moss to the north, but bare to the south in the half-naked anticipation. There's a place where water seeps slowly past to the bog, with stones large enough for stepping. And a single Japanese multi-floor rose sinks its thorns into my coat as I pass by to enter the stand of white birches. Nearby are vernal pools, charted by my occasional hiking partner, who photographed and registered the sites when he got wind of a developer who wanted to build 84 houses here. Past the birches, the soils get sandier, there below the snow cover, just perfect for the endangered turtles who plot around there. Some with expensive radio antenna, so the developer might know where he may and where he may not dig. I recall the neighborhood meeting earlier this week when the town planner announced that all these woods and the vernal pools and the bog and the turtles have been purchased by the city as conservation land, except for a handful of lots out on the edge of the road. All this would remain more or less as it is now. And I wondered if anyone told the land it was given a reprieve. Or if I was the first to say that the turtles could relax. And the coyotes and the toads could count on returning to their hunting and breeding grounds another season. And the saplings could continue to stretch in the shadows of their giant forebears. And when I tire of myself, and this great disjointed world threatens to pull me apart with it, I will still be able to slip off to this place where the strips of bark lie slack on the stones and the damp moss clothes the sturdy trees. James on the alto. Thank you. Now please enjoy our version of Duke Ellington's It Don't Mean a Thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much. That's a blast. This next poem was written just a few weeks before Russia invaded Ukraine. And it was inspired by the life of one of my translator colleagues. And I'll be accompanied by Bill on the piano on this. Solidarity. I returned to Siberia, the village of my childhood. My aging relatives, wrinkled and sick in multiple ways. An ambulance for my uncle the day after Christmas. My husband and I went walking in 45 below, avoiding the streets where wolf packs snap up neighbors' dogs. The tip of his nose turned white, so we had to go back. They said there'd be no helicopters the first 2 weeks of January. So I bribed the driver to get us out of there. 10 hours in his car down a frozen river to the nearest station town. Luckily, when we passed, the car capsized in the ice. My husband was asleep. Then 3 days on the train, and we were in Moscow, liberated. I am Russian, but not solely. My family comes from Ukraine and Romania. I do not believe in Mother Russia, who eats her neighbors and exiles their children. When we came home to our apartment in Athens, it was 15 Celsius. I went to the beach 3 days in a row to lie in the sun. And I've been sick ever since. I'm 5 feet tall, thin as a rail. I speak 7 languages. I have a daughter and a dog. My name is Anna. What's yours? Thank you. Bill Winslow. Next up, this is our version of Lee Morgan's Calling Miss Khadija. This next piece relates to a favorite pastime from when I was a teenager. I'll be accompanied by Chris on the drums on this one. Pinball. Trace back the plunger. Heart rate and ball zooms metronomic back and forth, then gravity falling through random conduits to central nervous pumping organs, firing like automatic magazines, fingers tapping rhythm calibrated to the machine. The ball flings sideways, friction warm, striking rubber, being struck, hitting, being hit, ricocheting, rocketing. Where speed approaches N, being inability to track. Velocity stands still, where things just happen on the horizontal stage. The audience, pure witness, swallowing the ball, down the wire-rimmed esophagus, across the flashing solar plexus, rattling the ribs, around the molded intestines, extra gallstone ejected. Raising on toes to follow the trajectory, vein valves flashing, rubber thumping, eyes rolling red diodes, ears ringing a multi-event alarm. Stainless steel steamroller, bullets raining, deflected by this, your crusader, armed to his fingertips. And then the extra special, 10 times. Slow-mo, as if predetermined, across the panicked chest, plunging in precise penetration down into the bowels of disappearance. After a pause, the head pops back up from between the shoulders. A near tilt. All the lost seconds race to catch back up to the present. And then the bonus. Thank you, Tristan on drums. Thank you. And now we will be doing our first of two pieces by great composer Hank Mobley. This is our version of East of the Village. thank you. Thank you so much. What a ball. This next piece is actually dedicated to our MC tonight, Tom Clark, Tommy Twilight, co-founder of the Florence Poets Society. Tommy and the Florence Poets really meant a lot to me when I first came out as a writer after being a carpenter for 15 years. And we've been friends, and he's showed up for me ever since, too. Thank you, Tommy. This is for you. Felling a Tree with Tommy Twilight's poetry advice. This tree was even bigger than the one we'd brought down together. I was going to try and drop it in a gap in the woods to the left, but after tossing my throw bag toward a crotch about 35 feet up, about 20 times, I realized I'd burned a hole through my glove with the friction from the string. I'd burned a hole through the skin of my finger, too. So I re-examined the prospect and decided the tree really wanted to fall to the right. The blood was minimal. Then I stood behind this 150-foot red oak with the 12-foot circumference at the base and a large black gouge at the bottom where carpenter ants had chewed their way in. And I thanked the oak for the air, for the shade, for the shelter, for all the tiny creatures, for the fungi, the lichen, and now for the wood, which will keep our house warm. I decided to make my mouth cuts higher than usual to guard against any surprises from the weakened trunk. As I leaned into the first cut, I saw that the metal gripping teeth beside the bar of the chainsaw were dangling, were missing a screw, and this was going to make the job more difficult. But I wasn't about to stop now. I finished the first mouth cut about 1/3 of the way in, just as I wanted. The second cut was more difficult. Not having leverage I would have enjoyed from those gripping teeth. The wedge-shaped void revealed the heart of the trunk, black and punky, even here 5 feet off the ground, channeled out by the ants. But I thought there'd be enough good wood around it for my hinge. Finally, I made the back cut, easing past the center of the trunk, just 4 inches above my mouth cut, until I heard a creak. The tree tipped forward about 5 degrees, and I stepped back 5 steps. I stepped up and cut another inch, and the tree tipped forward a couple more degrees and stopped. I looked up. A branch near the top on the side was leaning against a branch of a neighboring tree. Otherwise, the oak was aimed right in the direction I had planned. Cutting out more of the hinge would be risky. So I decided to hope for wind. Then I decided to walk to my shed, grab my digging bar. Maybe I could pry into the space I had opened with my cuts and lever the tree past the offending branch. Considering the tonnage of this oak, I knew it was a long shot. As I walked back from my shed through the trees with the iron bar on my shoulder, there was a swishing, a crashing, several booms, brakes, and a sled as the giant hit the earth. Call it luck, call it prayer, call it poetry. You should have been there. It was awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. And please enjoy our version of Hank Mobley's Roll Call. was actually written in Denmark at a music improv workshop weekend. And it speaks to that phenomenon that can occur when musicians really connect together, or when anyone does, for that matter. I'm going to read it in Danish and in English. And they'll be accompanied by Jay on the trumpet. I meet you in a place which does not exist. We exist, and as we meet, we disappear. And the meeting disappears as we keep meeting. What exists is the memory of that place which does not exist, except in memory, except in meeting. Jeg møder dig et sted, som ikke findes. Vi eksisterer, og når vi mødes, forsvinder vi. Og mødet forsvinder, mens vi bliver ved at mødes. Hvad eksisterer er mindet om det sted, som ikke findes. Bortset fra mindet. Bortset fra mødet. I meet you in a place which does not exist. We exist. And as we meet, we disappear. And the meeting disappears as we keep meeting. What exists is the memory of that place which does not exist, except in memory, except in meaning. Thank you. Jay on the trumpet. Now, this is a new tune for us. It's only the second time we've performed it. This is our version of Moanin' by Charles Mingus. much. That's always a blast. We've got one more spoken word piece for you tonight. And this speaks to the place where we have performed the most times. And we also want to dedicate it to our bass player, John, who hurt himself this week and was unable to perform. I know he really wants to be up here with us, and we'd love him to be up here with us, but he couldn't do it. But at least we can do is dedicate this piece to him and hope that it will bring him a speedy recovery. And the whole band will be participating on this one. Luthier's Co-op Bar and Restaurant. St. Patrick's Day, 2022. The place is deserted at 6:30. When we arrived to set up microphones and instruments on the cramped stage flanked by congas and amps, vintage guitars hanging on all the walls. Since last time they've renovated, removed the closet in the corner, so we stash our cases by the parts and repair counter and our jackets in one of the two new booths with the red and blue table lanterns. By 7, people arrive. I'm in my brightest green t-shirt, my Life is Good baseball cap, sitting on my imported German stool with our trumpeter and pianist to my left, our bassist to my right. The drums are directly behind me, making me wonder about earplugs. After a couple of sound checks and a martini for the trumpeter, we launch into Now's the Time, which happens to be the name of our jazz combo. The notes leap off the stage into the lights that make everything else too dark for us to discern, except for a pair of women off to the left. Stephen, the sound man, knows his stuff and the balance is good, though I still have a bit too much of drums, which is not his fault. The applause after each tune is more than polite, as is our playing, since we're the only band tonight, extending our solos to stretch our sets and our creativity. A few times Bill pounds the keys rhythmically, making me nearly jump off my stool. Chris both drives us with his sticks and chases us. When the two-headed train of Jay on trumpet and me on clarinet start hurtling up and down our arpeggios. When the horns come back in at the B section of Dippermouth Blues, Chris has to switch to two-hand ensemble to keep up, and the band has somehow managed to sound like 20 pieces instead of 5, a solid wall of charging music, tones and overtones as if New Orleans suddenly came loose and was bearing down on all of us, about to capsize, while the music keeps us afloat, plays us while we play it. The energetic momentum, actual joy. An involuntary grin on my face at the end of the tune. A surprised explosion of whoops from the audience who didn't know that was about to happen. That we were all about to forget ourselves, buoyed by liberation, years of discipline, an invitation, a venue, a reason to be one specific place at one moment in time. I want to thank the band, introduce the band one last time, and we're going to have one more tune for you. We have Chris on the drums, Bill on the piano, Jay on the trumpet, and James on the saxophone, and Michael. This is our version of King Oliver's Dippermouth Blues.